What is good, everyone? Welcome to Philly Take with RB. Of course, I'm RB, and this is Philly Take, hosted by yours truly, man. Home of the hottest sports takes. We're just gonna hop right into it, man. The NFL is absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane right now. This is the only thing holding me on and just keeping me engaged because with all sports down right now, I need something. I need something like this. Today has been absolutely insane. We're going to get into Eagles. We're going to get into the rest of the league. What should the Eagles do? Malcolm Jenkins walking, Jalen Mills staying, Rodney McLeod staying, all of it. We're going to dive right into all of it. But first off, I want to say, what's up, Rick Bennett? How are you, man? Good evening to you as well. I got my phone on standby here just in case, any other breaking news comes in. It is absolutely insane. Let me get your instant thoughts on Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Phillip Rivers going to the Colts. Because I'm kind of in shock right now. I just got home a little while ago. I was thinking about, uploading a video, and boom. As soon as I hop on Twitter, Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I could have never imagined Tampa Bay out of anyone in the league. Tampa Bay? Not even the Chargers, not even the Colts. Does Tom Brady want to win next year? I want to see how much he got paid with Tampa Bay. I mean, this is crazy. So Tom Brady goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Phillip Rivers goes to the Colts. Teddy Bridgewater goes to the Carolina Panthers. What is next? I feel like the official free agency, the signing, it did not even start yet. It's tomorrow. But all these guys are agreeing to deals. And I'm in shock right now. This is my first time using this, so we're gonna try it out, man. Shout out to Mike for showing this to me. We're gonna put it comment right on the screen. How many twins will Tom Brady produce? Phillip Rivers, not sure. Herb Brady gets at least $30 million a year. That wins. Okay. How many wins will Tom Brady produce? Honestly, man, I was looking at the Bucs roster. I mean, they got some guys. They got Mike Evans, who to me is a baller at wide receiver. They got O.J. Howard at tight end. I'm not too sure about the running back situation. Bruce Arians, to me, has been a decent head coach. He's had his ups and downs, though. I got to see how the defense is looking because the Bucs, they've had good defenses before, and that usually ends up being their strong point for some reason. Even though the last couple years, like when they had Fitzmagic and they had Deshaun Jackson down there and all, they were balling out. But usually the Bucs fill their team with defensive pieces, and right now, I'd probably first feeling I probably got the Bucs maybe at 10, maybe 11 wins. That's just the first thing. I got to go back and look through the roster, but this is crazy, man. Tom Brady to Tampa Bay. Watching it this morning, watching the dude pretty much say his farewell to New England. I really didn't think it was going to happen. We heard all this speculation. There's always been talk about it, especially for the last couple of years, Jimmy G and all. But Tom Brady, I really, really thought that he would be going back to New England. And this dude is going to Tampa Bay. Not even home. He's from California. I thought he would go out west at least before he went to Tampa Bay. That's pretty crazy, man. Another team I thought that Tom Brady, because, he's up there. He's 42 years old. And, I thought Tom Brady, he's on a limb now. He wants to win. Obviously, his play declined last year a little bit. He didn't have the weapons to support him. But Tom Brady, man, he's not getting any younger. So he wants to be in a situation where he's going to win now. And I thought the Colts presented a great situation for Tom Brady. Frank Reich, a heck of a coach. I thought, all the pieces that the Colts do have, I thought with Andrew Luck last year, they were going to be in position to go deep into the playoffs and make a run. Now, sadly, Andrew Luck kind of got tired of going through the rehab process, and he hung it up early. And I think that the Colts were kind of messed up with that and that whole process and Jacoby Brissett and everything. But this is crazy, man. Tom Brady to the Buccaneers. Let's see what Superhero has to say. Tom Brady, still an amazing quarterback, 24 TD, 7 interception last year, but can he really elevate the Bucs? It is a wise investment in money, even though he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I was just hearing who said they're probably going to pay him upwards of third year. Now, to me, that is a lot of money for Tom Brady. Of course, to me, they probably overpaid for him. But to get the name brand of Tom Brady, to get what he's done in the past, and they're hoping he can continue it in Tampa Bay. Now, for me, it's kind of hard. We're gonna have to see what happens. Obviously, with the league being on postponed right now, not officially, but they're not going to be able to do OTAs. They're not going to be able to see their teammates a lot. So this is definitely a weird transition for Tom Brady. And to me personally, I think that I want to see how the system that they run with Tom Brady. He's always had Josh McDaniels as, kind of the dude to keep him up and keep him supporting and everything. And I mean, not always. I know McDaniels went to be that head coach and he came back. But, especially for like the last 8-9 years, Josh McDaniels has been that dude. He's always, made a nice system for Tom Brady where he hasn't been under too much pressure. They dunk and dink down the field. And, when the time is right, he hits that shot. Belichick is the smartest coach probably of all time. So it's going to be interesting to see Tom Brady in another system. Can he keep it up? Can he continue what he's done? I mean, but this is crazy. I think about some of the other backs. I know Drew Brees went back in Portland. Teddy Bridgewater went to the Panthers. Phillip Rivers went to the Colts. What do you think about all the other guys that are getting signed today? We'll get to I just want to know about quarterback right now. Who do you think is still dire need of quarterback? I heard Cam Newton's probably looking for a trade, maybe to the Bears. Could that be a possibility? Could the Bears be going for Nick Foles that they still trust in Mitchell Trubisky? I'm just throwing ideas out there. And I just got home recently, but instead of a video, I mean, all the news, every time I was sitting down and do the video, just more news kept coming out. So I thought it'd be good to hop on here and just talk about it. Actually, I was just thinking about that. The NFL year starts typically in September as the cold weather starts back up, and that's when you get flus and whatnot. So it'll be interesting. I completely agree. Like I said, we're in uncharted territory. We've never seen really something like this. So in my opinion, we will probably see what happens as we go forward. We'll probably have news, more updates. I know things are closing down. But in terms of man, I don't know. You're having bandwidth issues, videos laggy. Okay, let me see what I can do. I'm currently trying to fix this lag or whatever the heck's going on. Let me see what's up. Might have to hop back out of here and hop back in. Is this still lagging for y'all? Is this still lagging? Looking good now. Bet. All right. So anyway, back to what we were saying. First, I want to ask, and I still want a couple reactions and comments to this. What do you think about Phillip Rivers ending up in Indy? Do you think that is the right fit for Frank Reich? Do you think the Colts are going to be contenders next year? Do you think Phillip Rivers has anything left in the tank? Let me know right now in the chat. And then we'll get to your question, Rick. And like I said, my fault. This is my first time doing this, by myself. So I'm trying to work with this software. Hopefully it's not too laggy anymore. Everything's going well. All this sports news is crazy today. This is the only thing keeping me stable right now. This sports where everything else down, All right, so Rick says Phillip Rivers is older, so it can go one of two ways: a great season or a train wreck, no in betweens. I honestly am feeling similar to you. I feel like what we saw this past season in LA, Phillip Rivers really just didn't look like he had an arm with him anymore. The way he was throwing balls, I mean, his arm just looked dead, kind of similar to what Peyton Manning looked like kind of near the end of his career, even though he went on to win a Super Bowl because of that legit defense, and that shows the importance of defense. I don't know about Phillip Rivers in Indy. I really thought they were going to try to make a big name splash like a Tom Brady. I know you could say Phillip Rivers is a big name splash. They're going to be paying him like a big name splash. But look, man, Indy's time is right now. They've saved up money. They've saved up picks. They've been loading the last couple years, man. And Frank Reich has helped put that all together. I wish Andrew Luck would have stayed for another year or two. I really liked the direction that Indy team was going into. But like you said, we'll see. I think it's an either way type of thing. Superhero says, I do. Just like Tom, he's a veteran quarterback. He'll be able to adjust on the fly to any system, play a high-level football. That I do agree with. Phillip Rivers, despite how many kids he has, despite how long he's been playing, he is a true professional. Phillip Rivers, he will come in. He will be a leader. You've heard the voice bits before of him talking to his teammates. He is a funny dude, and he shows up every single Sunday ready to rock. It don't matter if he's 40, if he doesn't really have a strong arm anymore. He will be ready to go. He will be in that huddle taking control. And I think that will do a lot, especially for the young guys that Indy has. A very interesting situation. Like I said, Teddy Bridgewater to the Panthers. I really think he's going to start there. I think Cam Newton's on his way out. Who else? Drew Brees to the Saints. I expected that all along. There's still a couple other dominoes to fall. There's definitely going to be a lot of pieces in line for backup quarterbacks and all that. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Now let's transition to the Philadelphia Eagles. This is really what I wanted to talk about today and what I was going to make the video about. But like I said, there's just too much news, and I didn't want to, bore you with a long video. So I guess we will start yesterday with what happened, because I never got around to that. The Eagles signed Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle from the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? And that was pretty much the first move Howie made. We're seeing dominoes fall off the board. We're seeing Byron Jones go to the Miami Dolphins. We're seeing James Bradbury go to the Giants. A couple other pieces in terms of linebackers go off the board. Guys that I think the Eagles should have inquired about. Last night, 2 big trades. But before all that, the Eagles, their first big move, they signed Javon Hargrave. So I have his stats up here. He's played 16 games over the last 3 years. Each year, so he stays healthy. He had 4 sacks last year, 6.5 the year before, and 2 for each year before that for the previous 2 years. So 4 years in the league, he's 27, coming off his rookie contract. He's entering his prime. And I went back and watched some film on Javon Hargrave, and the dude is a monster in terms of stopping the run. I think he's going to be great at the nose tackle. Now I don't know what's going to happen because we got Fletch. We got Brandon Graham. We got Derek Barnett. And we got Malik Jackson. A lot of people forget about Malik Jackson because he was the guy that disappeared after one because he got hurt. Rest of the season, he was the first domino to fall out of the rest of those guys. So, honestly, in terms of the line, that's always been a priority. Howie. The Eagles always a defensive line. And I think we're talented as always because line's deep. Hold on. Let me know in the chat if it's laggy. I just looked over and it was a little bit laggy. But anyway, we're going to keep continuing talking about the Eagles. So Javon Hargrave, I think he provides a lot to the Eagles in terms of depth on the defensive line, and that's great. However, today, Malcolm Jenkins walks. Malcolm Jenkins leaves. How do you, like, I just want to talk about, like, how? If you are Howie Roseman and Malcolm Jenkins has been the heart of this defense, he's been here for 6 years. He has played 98.7% of the snaps. 98.7%. He hasn't missed a snap in 2 years. We just let this dude walk in free agency. We just let him walk. How do you describe that to me? How do you explain that? Free agency is going to start tomorrow. I know he's going to get a lot of interest, a lot of demand on the market. But Malcolm Jenkins, that is one dude I wanted to keep. I wanted him here. He's one of the consistent dudes that he's always there. He shows up every single Sunday. Every single Sunday. But what the Eagles do is they go out and they get Jalen Mills. They bring him back 1 year, $5 million. They want to convert him to safety. They go out and they re-sign Rodney McLeod. Okay, that's fine. But those two together, I know you want to go cheaper. You want to take the discount and you want to get younger. I understand that. But Malcolm Jenkins, I think he has a lot more left in the tank. He wasn't even trying to be paid like the number one dude, like the number one safety in the league. And now he's going to walk. All this stuff he's done on and off the field for Philadelphia, and he's going to walk. And that one hurts. I understand it. It's a business decision. But I wanted to keep Malcolm Jenkins. Now, in terms of safeties, like I said, Mills and McLeod. Not the best. I know Jalen Mills played safety at LSU. Will he be able to translate that here in the NFL? It's been a while. Can we convert him to safety? Can we switch him over? I don't know. I mean, the dude gets burnt at corner. Some of that is because of the system. He gets left on an island. Some of that is just because he's not as talented. We need to address the corner position. Sidney Jones and I don't know what Avonte Maddox is going to do. Now, I thought we were going to try to push him to safety. Rasul Douglas, I don't think he's capable enough to be your every week starter. I don't know, man. And, you know, we're seeing Byron Jones go off the board. We're seeing James Bradbury go off the board. A couple of these, you know, other guys we're seeing go off the board. And I know this draft isn't really too heavy in terms of cornerbacks, and the other position we really need is linebackers. But look, man, I don't know how I'm feeling about this. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Linebacker, I'm seeing Corey Littleton go to the Raiders. Who else? Blake Martinez come to the division as well, go to the Giants. Kyle Van Noy go to the Dolphins. How about the Miami Dolphins? Let's get to some of these comments. Hi, babe. Hey, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Rick Bennett was laggy. Someone in that house should get off Minecraft. Well, sadly, it is pretty much just me on the internet. I don't know what's going on. It's my first time using this. But like I said, we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep grinding it out. Philly Fresh, what's up, bro? Jenkins wanted to get paid too much for too many years. Sorry, he gone, but not mad. I understand Jenkins wants to get paid. He wants that big payday, and he deserves it. He's been consistent. He has been that dude. But I don't understand this. Like, I do understand it, but I don't. Like, the Eagles need that dude who we can depend on defense. We need that heart. Now, I really don't know who that is. A lot of that now falls in terms of what we do, in terms of corner, in terms of linebacker. You can't tell me that TJ Edwards and Nate Jerry are going to be our starting linebackers going into the season. But a lot of these guys are going off the board. But it's like, what do we do? Really, what do we do? I liked some of the dudes that were on the market, but it's like they're just flying off the board. And really, like, we're kind of left in a bad situation right now. Me personally, let me ask the chat, do you think that Howie Roseman is doing enough so far? I know it's only been 2 days. We got Javon Hargrave, we got Nate Sudfeld back, we got Jalen Mills back, we got Rodney McLeod, but some of these other guys walking. Is Howie doing enough? Philly Talk Podcast, what is up, my dude? Dolphins balling. You're absolutely right. You got Jordan Howard went there today, Kyle Van Noy yesterday, Byron Jones, Shaq Lawson. Dude, the Dolphins they have money and they are loading up. The Dolphins are making a push. The way that the Dolphins played under that head coach, Brian Flores, last year, near the end, it was inspiring because we knew they weren't going anywhere. But, that one game that they beat New England, which put them in the first round where they had to play the Titans and they lost. I mean, that was a big game, and the Dolphins came out and impressed me. They usually show up against New England for some reason, but the way that they came out and the way that they were playing for that coach with Ryan Fitzmagic at quarterback, that was insane. That was interesting. And now they got the money and they're going out and making a push. No, I don't think the Dolphins are going to be contenders. I don't think they're going to win the AFC East. But let me tell you, the Dolphins, they are making a push right now. Dolphins are making a push. Shout out to Florida, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. Crazy, man. Philly Fresh says, in this business, you can't pay for what you did, but what you're going to do. Hey, I agree with you, man. We got to look towards the future. We obviously want to get younger, and we want to save money where we can, and we want to invest it in other spots. Like I said, like I've been saying, we need to fill a lot of holes within this team. It's not just one dude that's going to make it happen. We need to fill it. We need to fill everything. Linebackers, we really have no one right now. Corners, uncertain. Jalen Mills is going to go play safety. Rodney McLeod is back, but is he that dude that can really step up? We need a lockdown corner. I'm tired year after year watching dudes get burnt. We haven't had a lockdown corner since Asante Samuel. We have not. And you can throw names at me, but we have not. But like you said, we have to pay for what you're going to do. Now, me personally, I do think Malcolm Jenkins has a lot left in the tank. But did we want to pay that premium? I don't know if it would have been top dollar in terms of safety. I understand it's a business decision, but it just hurts seeing a dude like that who has meant so much to this team. Arguably, probably one of the best free agent signings ever in Philadelphia. I know a lot of people are comparing this to the Brian Dawkins and how we let him go a little bit early. But I don't know, man. I just don't think Howie's doing enough right now. Rick Bennett, I had a feeling Jenkins would walk. Jenkins is like JT Realmuto wanting to set a precedent for people in his position. You're doing great analysis. I appreciate that, Rick, and thank you for tuning in, everyone who's here in the chat. I also thought I thought there was a possibility Jenkins would walk. They're holding him out, not giving him the contract. In terms of JT Realmuto, I completely understand that. And these guys should want to do that. They should want to set the tone for guys to come after them. The same thing we've seen in terms of running backs. These guys deserve to get paid, and they're not going to be in the league as long as some of the other dudes. So they need to get paid. Just like in baseball, you're absolutely right. JT Realmuto deserves to get paid. The dude is a level, probably a couple levels above anybody else at his position. Like I said, it just hurts. It hurts seeing Malcolm Jenkins go like he is now. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it was the smart thing to do. Roseman is playing cheap for now. Yes, he is. And, for me personally, I have faith in Howie Roseman. I have trust because, a couple years ago, I see him go out and make these moves for a couple years in a row. I see him go out and trade a 4th-round pick midseason to get Jay Ajayi. I see him go out and get LeGarrette Blount, Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith. He didn't go out and get that one star, but he built this team. He built and he brought a lot of significant pieces to the team. And honestly, that I feel like that's what we need. We need to be solid all around. We need to have depth because the last couple years we've seen it, man. The Eagles continue to get hurt. Now that is a different issue for a different day. But why? Like the Eagles, to me, because of the last 2 years, I feel like they're going to continue to get injured, and it sucks. But I don't know, man. We need to fill a lot of voids right now. And like you said, Howie Roseman's got to do a better job. He's got to be on top of this because guys are just going off the board. Philly Talk Podcast. Jenkins, 2 years max, maybe he wanted more. I saw reports saying he might have been good with just a little guarantee money. I mean, yeah. I understand, like I said, the business decision, the business aspect. We have to cut corners. We have to let dudes go like Nigel Bradham. I understand it. But to me, Malcolm Jenkins is one of the hearts of this defense, man. And wherever he's going to go, he's going to step right in and be an instant impact. And I just don't know who's going to replace him. I don't know really what's going to happen on the defensive side of the ball right now other than defensive line. Offense, I kind of have an idea. I have a feeling that we're going to trade Alshon and Aguilar is gone, and I feel like we're going to address that in the draft. Now, whether that's a hit or miss, that's a big conversation coming up. We need to hit in the draft. But on the defensive side of the ball, man, we need to address these issues now. There's too many dudes going off the board. I've been saying it. We need playmakers on the defense. We need a dude, like you say, Mike, like Jeremiah Trotter back in the day. That dude used to show up every single Sunday, and we could count on him. We knew he had that middle of the field locked. We knew that he would show up and consistently put up numbers and produce and be a rock on this defense. We need that on this team. I can't stand any more Sundays watching the Eagles and they can't tackle a running back. Or when, the tight ends are crossing over the middle, we have no one that can pick them up. I don't know. To me, Jalen Mills is okay. I haven't always been the biggest Jalen Mills fan. When he came back from injury this year, he played okay. He did. But I need to see more than just that. Now, whether he will improve at safety, I mean, I thought Malcolm Jenkins is also a good mentor. He understands how to teach these guys like Avonte Maddox. When I saw him at safety for a small sample size, he was playing out of his mind. That's why he got moved to corner, because Malcolm really taught this guy how to play the game. And that hurts. Superhero says cheap can sometimes be better with the right targets. Remember that Jenkins was once not the media favorite. Remember Jerry's Bird. Yes, I do remember him. And you are right. Cheap can be better sometimes. It really can. Now, as long as we have a plan in place, I'm confident. Like I said, I'm confident Howie Roseman. He usually gets the job done. This last season during the trade deadline, I thought he would do something. He really didn't. Last time when he got Golden Tate, we saw that didn't really work out well. But I know Howie has a plan in place. I know he'll get something done. But the question is, will it be enough? Because we, as Eagles fans, as Philly fans, we go into this season, we go into every season expecting to come out and be on top. And we have dudes here that can ball out. Like I'm saying, Wentz is entering his prime. This is going to be some crucial years. Can the Eagles get it done? They have to be filled with depth, and they have to have a backup plan for whatever they do. And most importantly, they have to do something. They can't just sit around and wait. So like I said, we got McLeod and Mills back. Jenkins is probably going to walk in free agency. Let me know right now in the chat, what should be the next position? Like right away, what should be the next Eagles move? What position should we address right now? What is most crucial to this team right now based off what you're seeing as well in free agency? I'm about to check Twitter to make sure no other news is going down. Damn, all I see on Twitter is just freaking Tom Brady. Tom Brady, I knew it would come, but like I said, I really did not think Tom Brady would end up in Tampa Bay. I saw Dallas got Sean Lee back. Like I said, I'm still updating myself on all the news. I saw a lot of it. I saw 3 Cowboys went to the Las Vegas Raiders. That was pretty funny. Who was it? Jason Witten, Jeff Heath, and someone else. I forget, but I really liked Corey Littleton at linebacker too, and I saw he went to the Raiders. The Raiders are making a splash. The Dolphins are making a splash. A lot of teams, man. I saw Trey Wayne's cornerback. I thought about maybe bringing him in for a workout. He went to the Bengals, I believe, which was crazy. Man. Let's get to some of these comments. Superhero says avoiding an Aaron Rodgers type situation in Green Bay. Yep, absolutely agree. Like I said, we need to get Carson Wentz the deuce. We need to get him the guys. We don't want to just surround. We don't just want to leave him on an island by himself and try to let him win games, because we all know, I mean, Carson Wentz is capable of that, but we don't want to expose him to playing like that, you know, because he does. He has injury problems. Again, another discussion for another day. But I mean, it was heartbreaking seeing Carson Wentz go down that playoffs. But just the way that guy stepped up, like a Boston Scott, a Greg Ward, all these dudes that stepped up during the season. We need depth. We need bodies. Rick says we need a wide receiver and more people for our secondary. I agree with you. Wide receiver, that is an interesting topic, and that will be talked about a lot as we go forward. Because, you know, looking at our offense, I mean, we have Zach Ertz. We have Dallas Goedert. Goddard can pretty much stretch the field, and he can also play like an actual tight end. It's pretty crazy. He can block. He can do it all. I feel like the Eagles have 2 of the top 5, if not maybe the top, probably top 5 tight ends in the league. I think Goddard is up there, man, and I think he has to be utilized more effectively. Like I said, I don't know who is going to be drawing up the plays this year, but they got to figure more out for Goddard and Ertz, because them two together, especially on the field at the same time, can be absolutely lethal. I think Alshon will be gone, and Aguilar will probably be gone. D-Jack will be back, and we already know what he brings to the offense, but we need another solid dude to step in, whether it's in the draft, whether it's a Justin Jefferson, whether it's we maybe trade up a few spots, get a Henry Ruggs. I'm not sure, but this wide receiver class is absolutely loaded. This is the time where the Eagles need to hit on a wide receiver. I can't come out and watch JJ Arcega-Whiteside anymore, because that was a fail. We missed on DK Metcalf, and obviously it would be hard to go back and look at, you know, current time and who we really wanted at that time. We didn't know Metcalf was going to explode like that. But look, man, the Eagles have 10 draft picks. They have to hit on wide receiver and some of these other dudes. I've been talking about recently maybe trading up in the draft to get some big dude that's going to step in from day one. And you also mentioned secondary. Absolutely agree. We need corners, man. We need corners. Philly Talk says, we got to bring in a corner, bro, even if he's an okay guy. Need bodies. Absolutely agree with you. I don't see Rasul Douglas being a starter on his team. I don't see Sidney Jones being a starter. I want him to. Sidney Jones is one of my favorites. The potential I saw out of that dude a couple years ago in the combine, Sidney Jones can play, man, but he's just got to get his feet under him. And I hope he's in the right system where we can help him learn the NFL game. And I think Sidney Jones is up to something if we get him right. Avonte Maddox, he's a little bit short. I don't know what we're going to do with him. But they're like we've been talking about, there's some dudes in this draft. You got CJ Henderson, you got a Denzel Mims. The Eagles can do a lot in this draft. They can package some picks, move up. We can get some good guys and move back to other ones. Maybe trade for some dudes from some other teams. There's a lot of dudes here in free agency. Like you said, we just got to bring dudes in. We need to hit. Last year, we ran like 65% of our offense with the 12 personnel. I know, man. I know. Dude, when we have those guys in, it works. It works, and there's just a lot more protection for Wentz. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the offensive line. I'm guessing Andre Dillard, they want him to be that dude. I guess Samalo is going to stay at left guard. I don't know. We saw Big V go off. Lane will be healthy. Brandon Brooks, most underrated dude on the Eagles. Jason Kelce, we got to start looking maybe a year ahead. I hope Jason Kelce doesn't retire. But you got them, and when you got Goddard on the field blocking or Ertz blocking or them, crossing over the middle, I mean, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. The guys, the different formations that we can run in this system, and the way Doug Peterson, the way we've seen him be ballsy when calling different plays, there is so much this offense can do. Let's not even forget, you got Miles Sanders in the backfield. You got Boston Scott, who's to me is like the next Darren Sproles. This team can do so much at one time on the field, and they can be dangerous. Cowboy X Factor, what is up, my dude? Realist Cowboy fan. Hey there, Philly takes. So the Philly Eagles release Malcolm Jenkins and re-sign Mills to play safety. I find that really interesting to me. Yeah, man, we've been talking about it for a few minutes here. And to be quite frank, quite honest with you, man, I don't like it. I don't. I feel like it's settling for less. And, I feel like sometimes we get our heads too wrapped up in this money situation. The new CBA was passed. There is more money to go around. We've been seeing it the last couple of days. We're like, Byron Jones got $87 million. I mean, we knew he would get upwards of that much, but that's a lot of money. We're seeing some of these linebackers get $40, $50 million. And we let Malcolm Jenkins go because of the money situation and because we want to get younger. And then we take a discount. We pay Jalen Mills $5 million, and we'll move him to safety. Now, like I'm saying, part of it is the scheme, but part of it is the talent. Jalen Mills has not showed me that he can be an every week type of player. I know he's had his spurts where he's looked good. That playoff run, he played absolutely great. But Jalen Mills, I'm not sure I'm too confident with him or Rodney McLeod leading the defense at the safety position. I really don't think I am. And when we don't have that dude who can step in and be the leader, who can be the man on defense, like a Malcolm Jenkins, maybe at linebacker or wherever else, I'm kind of nervous. And we're not even too sure about the corner position. We haven't went out and got anyone. Rasul Douglas, I'm not too confident on him. Avonte Maddox, who knows? Sidney Jones has the potential, but he hasn't really showed me a lot yet. I don't like it, man. I wish we would have paid Malcolm Jenkins. We need not just the talent, but the kind of personality. We need that kind of dude here in Philadelphia. And I don't know who else we're going to go out and get at this moment in time. Let me know what you guys think right now in terms of the offensive side of the ball. I know we've been talking about defense. What do you guys think about offense, though? Do you think we have enough? Do you think we need to hit heavy in a draft? Do you think we need to cut Alshon and trade for a wide receiver? What do you guys think we need to do? Let me know right now in the chat. There's a lot of good wide receivers in this draft, man. You got Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb. Those guys are going to go, upwards, obviously. But there's some dudes we can get in the second and the third round. Yeah, man, there's a lot of dudes in this draft, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to miss Malcolm if he does indeed go. Cowboy X says, your team misses on Hopkins if the Texans actually put him on the trade block. But I get why you would want to draft a younger wideout, though. Well, to be honest about that Hopkins trade, and we can talk about that too. To be quite honest with you, I mean, it's a disappointment. I know no one really expected Bill O'Brien to be the dud that he is. I mean, I still can't believe it, that he goes out and trades DeAndre Hopkins, doesn't even get his first round pick back. They got a second rounder, a fourth rounder, and David Johnson, who really can't stay on the field like that. That was surprising to me. I mean, Bill O'Brien, they go and they give him more power after that playoff game, and they go and give him more, even though the guy can't even do more. And now you don't have that dude. You don't have that star of the franchise. Deshaun Watson, I mean, I know he's pissed off. Who's he going to throw the ball to? First, it was the protection. Now, who's he going to throw it to? I wish Howie would have been more aggressive if he really indeed heard rumors and stuff about DeAndre Hopkins. I wish we would have gone out and got a guy like him. He is unbelievable. I think he's even a little bit underrated. The dude never drops a pass. He has like 46 touchdowns in the last 5 years, never had below 800 yards, continually puts up 1,000-yard seasons on the Texans. That was a big miss. And then even last night, and we're going to get to this, we'll get to it right now. Stephon Diggs goes to the Bills. What did they trade him for? A first, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, something else? I'm like, dang, that was a lot for Stephon Diggs. And it makes the DeAndre Hopkins trade look even worse. Because you didn't even get your first round pick back. They've traded Jadeveon Clowney and Hopkins, and they haven't got a first rounder for that. The Bills, they overhauled for Stephon Diggs, but they're expecting, big things to happen there in Buffalo with the way they've played and adding a star like Stephon Diggs. I really had a gut feeling the Eagles were going to go for Stephon Diggs. And I was really actually surprised that he went that fast. And I think Howie's being aggressive in terms of these guys, but I mean, I wouldn't have paid that much for Stephon Diggs, to be quite honest with you, especially with the draft. I know the Eagles have 10 picks, but there's a lot of dudes in the draft. But DeAndre Hopkins, that was a big miss, because if we could have gave, what would we have to have given? What, a second, a fourth, and maybe Greg Ward or some dude like that, or some running back like Boston Scott. I don't know. But we should have went out and we should have got DeAndre Hopkins. That is sad. Now, so we got Diggs, we got Hopkins, Odell Beckham. I really think he's going to get traded, to be honest with you. I'm not sure when or where. I just don't see him fitting in with the Browns. I know they have a new coach and everything, and I just don't know if the fit is there. Would I want Odell Beckham? Sure, I would in terms of a talent perspective. But he comes with complications, and I mentioned this before. He comes with a lot of baggage. He's going to demand a lot. Now, in the last season with the Browns, he held himself well. He held his composure. He didn't really complain a lot. He was not getting the ball as much as he should have. Would he do that here? I'm not sure, because we've seen him on the Giants and have temper tantrums and stuff like that. He would come with a lot. Of course, I would take him, but I just feel like the time is running out. Like Diggs and Hopkins go right away like that. I don't know, man. It kind of hurts. It kind of does. Amari Cooper goes back to Dallas. Obviously, I thought it might end up happening because they tagged Dak, but I mean, the Cowboys overpaid for Amari, and then the Redskins offered a whole heck of a lot more for Amari, but he didn't want to go to the nation's capital. He didn't want to play with the Redskins just to get the money and not win. He thinks they're going to win there in Dallas. There's a lot to go on with Dak's contract and all that, but I just see a lot of dudes going off the board, and Eagles don't have a lot to show for it. Yeah, I feel bad for Deshaun Watson because Bill O'Brien's the head coach and GM like Chip Kelly was. And we know how that went. Don't need to say more there. You're absolutely right, man. Chip Kelly was a disaster. He's one of the most hated dudes here in Philly, especially by me. I despise Chip Kelly. The way that he took Andy Reid's playoff team and, turned those guys and just let them all go and brought his dudes in. And then when the project failed, he just left. He just got up on out of there. I really don't understand what Bill O'Brien is doing. I don't. I know he had some tension with DeAndre Hopkins, but really, for a second, a fourth, and David Johnson, you let DeAndre Hopkins go. That's pretty crazy, and they don't even have a first rounder this year. I don't get it. So we talked about Eagles. We've talked about their biggest needs, what they need to address. Obviously, we have linebacker and corner as our top priorities right now. The defensive line is looking pretty good. I think they're going to be all right. Obviously, there's a lot with scheme. I know we have Marquand Manuel in here. I think he's going to do big things with our defensive backs. Is Jim Schwartz going to blitz enough? Is he going to apply the pressure? We've seen it too many times on a 3rd and long. He hasn't applied the pressure. He's played soft. We need to dial up a lot more blitzes this season. The Eagles used to have a defensive coach named Jimmy Johnson. He would blitz so damn much, and it worked. We have the personnel here to do it. Jim Schwartz has to apply that pressure, and that also helps the corners because it doesn't leave them out on an island. It doesn't allow them to get burnt like toast a lot of the time. I don't know, man. Redskins gave them more money, but they had no choice as Cowboys traded a first-round draft pick for him. They could not afford to let him walk, knowing the value they gave up for him. Yeah, I agree with that, and I was reading about that a little bit, and the Cowboys, for them to go and give a first-rounder for Amari, I understand it, but now they had to overpay for him. Now, Amari, as I've seen, shows up at home, not really on the road that much. What's he going to do? Game in, game out, each single week. Now, I hate playing Amari because he's that good. He demands more guys, more attention because he's that good. And we've seen him toast the Eagles already a couple times, but I knew he wouldn't go to a team like the Redskins. Amari Cooper wants to win. He's, 26 years old? He's in his prime, and the dude just looks like he gets better each and every year. Amari's crazy. I still have faith in our season. I love that, man. I do have faith in our season, too. I think with the dudes that we do have, with the potential we have on the offensive side of the ball, I think we just need to get some dudes in here. I need to see some moves happen, even if they don't look like the best, trades or free agents signings right now. I think we just need to get some traction, we don't like it here when we sit back and watch every other team doing stuff. And the Eagles have made some moves. They have in the last 24 hours. But is it enough? That is the question. But I do agree with you. I do think the Eagles will be okay. It'll be a dogfight like it always is with the Cowboys for the division. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Wait, there's another Jimmy Johnson that was not on the Dallas Cowboys. Who knew? Yep. Jimmy Johnson was crazy. He was the coach, I believe, for the Eagles, and he would always blitz. And we had the personnel, and I'm telling you, when you bring this pressure, when you apply the pressure, quarterbacks come out of their element. I see it. I call it with Kirk Cousins, with Case Keenum, dudes like that. They can't play under pressure. They can't. I'm just looking on Twitter here to make sure there's no other news. Because like I've said all day, it's just like it just keeps flooding in. It just keeps going. And by the way, Jimmy Johnson was the defensive coordinator. I apologize for the Eagles, not the head coach. But yeah, Jimmy Johnson was great. He unfortunately passed away, but dude was great. Dude was great. And I know we've been jumping back and forth. What do you guys think if you just tuned in recently, what do you think about Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? What do you think about Phillip Rivers to the Colts? What do you think about Teddy Bridgewater to the Panthers? What are you guys thinking right now? Because a lot of these, star-studded players are already deciding where they want to go. Which team has made an impression on you today or yesterday in free agency? Which teams? Let me know. I was sad to see Jordan Howard go. I knew it would probably happen. He got about $10 million for 2 years with the Dolphins. Like you said, the Dolphins are making a splash. Jordan Howard is a power back. He's a dude who will get you that yard when you need to. He's been underrated for years. He's had touchdowns a lot in the red zone. He's had a lot of touchdowns because he is that dude you can give it to. I guess the Eagles just didn't see a vision for him in this offensive scheme, especially with Sanders rising to the level he has been at. Sanders is balling out. I project him to have a great year. Boston Scott, hope he can step in and continue the kind of role he was on. I mean, he was unbelievable. Kind of like Darren Sproles part 2, like I said. Overall, man, Eagles have to address these holes. We need some playmakers. We need it all to culminate together. We need to go out and make a splash. Get some dude here. Just keep piling up these guys because as we go on these next couple of days, a lot more guys are going to come off the board. A lot more guys are going to, go and sign these big deals. It seems to me like the Phillies and the Eagles are trying to be a little bit on the cheaper side. We have to go and pay this money. I know it doesn't always look the best, but some of these dudes, what they require and what they bring to your team, we have to go out and make a splash. So we talked about the Eagles, man, and we talked a little bit about the draft. A little bit about what we need in terms of each position. I kind of want to end this off here the last couple minutes, just going over some of the big names, the big news. Like I said, if you have anything that you think about Tom Brady to the Bucs, Phillip Rivers to the Colts, all of that, let me know right now in the chat. Which team benefited the most from signing a big name and why? Which ones do you think are going to strive? Do you think Tom Brady is going to win 10 games with the Tampa Bay Bucs? Do you think Phillip Rivers is going to step in there with that team and lead them far in the playoffs? I think the Colts are in good position, man. I really do. Emmanuel Ogbah signed with the Dolphins. Didn't even know that. That's crazy. I liked Corey Littleton, man. I really did. Thought the Eagles would be a little bit stronger on him. Obviously, he goes. Man, Jamie Collins went to the Lions. He's another dude who's been a veteran who could have helped this Eagles team, man. Case Keenum went to the Browns. How about that? Saw that yesterday. Mariota to the Raiders. A couple of these lower teams, man, they're making some splashes for sure. How about Jason Witten to the freaking the Raiders? You think he's gonna play it all there? Get some throws his way? That's crazy, man. But all right, to end this off for the last 5 minutes, let's just talk again about some Eagles. Look, man, I'm not happy about the Malcolm Jenkins, departure. I'm pretty sure he's going to depart. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss his intensity, what he brought to the defense. I'm gonna miss it all, man. Malcolm Jenkins was a true baller. He still has more in the tank. I understand it from a business perspective and trying to go younger. I think we could have, tried to bring him back for a couple years, but in the end, man, Malcolm Jenkins, shout out to him for what he's done on the field and off. He's a true leader, a true inspirational kind of dude that you kind of build your defense around, and guys look up to that type of dude. So shout out to Malcolm Jenkins, man. Shout out to him. Jalen Mills, you're going to have to impress me at safety. We're going to have to see what you can do. Like I said, I know you played at LSU. Can he translate that to the NFL? What will the system be? What will the scheme be? I'm tired of seeing dudes play too far off their men. And look, man, we need to make a big splash. Rodney, McLeod, and Jalen Mills, I don't know if they're going to cut it at safety. I don't know if Russell Douglas and Sidney Jones are going to cut it at corner. There's a lot of dudes that have been gone, in free agency already, but there's still some guys out there we need to address. We need to. There's still some bodies out there. Go sign a guy for a year or two. Go trade for someone. Go trade for Darius Slay. I'm a big fan of Darius Slay. He's a lockdown corner. He would come here and have an impact right away. We need a dude like that. And overall, like I said, we need playmakers. We haven't had a true linebacker since Jeremiah Trotter. Nigel Bradham did his thing, but since Trotter, man, I'm tired of us lacking that position. We need a dude to lock up that middle of the field to play guys in the slot or the tight ends. We need some dude like that. We really do. Defensive line is looking good. The offense is looking good. We need to hit heavy in the draft on wide receiver, maybe make a trade or something. I don't know. But overall, man, the Eagles, I need to see a little bit more out of them. I need to see Howie be aggressive, be the Howie that we've seen 2-3 years ago. I know it's only day 2 of free agency. I know it's like a tampering period. The actual free agency starts tomorrow when these deals, start to get signed and everything. I'm looking for the Eagles to make some moves. Stay tuned for tomorrow and my video and everything, and I'll break it all down to you, and we'll go through it again. We'll see what happens, but like I said, man, we got to keep confidence in the Eagles. They got to go out and make some big splashes. I appreciate everyone who stopped by for the stream. Like I said, it's my first time doing this on this software. I'm sorry if it was a little bit laggy. But, if you like the stream, make sure to hit that like button and click that subscribe. And I'll keep bringing you guys some great content. It's been hard without sports for sure. But with all this NFL news and everything leading up to the draft, all the free agency stuff, we still have a lot to talk about. Philadelphia Eagles are always great, man. Appreciate all you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm out, man. RB.